Hi everyone, I'm Malaine from English Made Easy. Here's another practical and easy lesson on English grammar. This one is about prepositions. Prepositions. I will be going through some of the pairs of prepositions that people usually get confused with. I have chosen the most commonly used ones and the most commonly confused ones. At the end of today's lesson, we'll play a short, interesting game on prepositions. It will be something like dumb charades. But first, let's go through the lesson or you will not be able to play the game. A preposition is a word that shows the relation between a subject and an object in a sentence. It is used to link or join words in a sentence. It tells you where something is in relation to something else. It is usually placed before a noun or a pronoun. But let's not concentrate so much on the definition of the word preposition today. I want this to be a completely informal lesson. Let's just learn how to recognize them and how to use them correctly. So here's the first pair of prepositions that are usually confused with each other: in and into. I will demonstrate the difference between the two words in a practical manner. So watch me carefully. I have a pouch here and I have an eraser. Watch what I'm doing. I dropped my eraser into the pouch. And now my eraser is in the pouch. I'll do that once more. Eraser, pouch. I dropped my eraser into the pouch. I dropped my eraser into the pouch. And now my eraser is in the pouch. Did you notice the difference between the two words? Into and in? It means in means that something is already inside something else, while into shows the movement of something into something else. I could also say, he jumped into the river to save the child. I found some cheese in the fridge. He jumped into the river to save the child. I found some cheese in the fridge. The second set of prepositions that people usually get confused with is on and at. I am sitting on a chair. I am sitting on a chair. I am sitting at a table. I am sitting at a table. Many people say, I am sitting on a table. Now, that isn't really decent. You can sit on a table, but while it is physically possible to do so, it is not something that people normally do. Here are some more sentences. I placed the hat on my head. I placed the hat on my head. He smiled at her. He smiled at her. He is at school. He is at school. The third set of confusing prepositions is against and over. Against and over. What is correct? He leaned over the wall or he leaned against the wall? He leaned over the wall or he leaned against the wall? Well, if it's a high wall, there is no way he could have leaned over it unless he climbed to the top of the wall first. So it is more acceptable to say he leaned against the wall. If it is a low wall, then it would be possible to lean over it. Then you could say he leaned over the wall. So when you use prepositions in sentences, it is advisable to use a little bit of imagination. Some more sentences for you. She was so ill that she leaned against him as she walked to the door. She was so ill that she leaned against him as she walked to the door. She placed her hands over her eyes for a minute. She placed her hands over her eyes for a minute. The fourth set of prepositions that I have chosen is between and among. Watch this carefully and you'll know what the difference is. I placed my pen among the other things in the pouch. There are a lot of other things in my pouch. I placed my pen among the other things in the pouch. Here's the second sentence. I placed my pen between a pencil and a marker. I placed my pen between a pencil and a marker. So did you notice the difference between these two words? Between is used when you refer to the position of one thing with respect to two other things. Among is used when you refer to one thing with respect to several other things. Would you like to try making sentences with these two words? Go ahead. Between and among. Think of something. Here are my sentences. He sat between his parents and watched the show. We spotted the owl among the other birds on the tree. Here's the fifth set of annoying prepositions. Over and across. Over means at a higher level, while across means from one side to the other. Okay? Over means at a higher level, while across means from one side to the other. So I can say, my pouch again. I held my pen over my pouch. It's not on top of it. I held my pen over my pouch. Or I could say, I drew a line across the page. So the line would have to go right from here to here. If I am drawing a line across the page, it would go from here to here, across the page. Okay, here are some more sentences. We hung a light over the table, over the table, not resting on top of the table, but over it. There was a path across the meadow. So there was a huge meadow and there was a path going across it. Now listen to these two sentences. I walked across the road. I walked along the road. I walked across the road. I walked along the road. What is the difference? Well, across would mean that you crossed the road to get to the other side, while along would mean that you are walking straight in the same direction. Okay, I will demonstrate this again with my book and a pencil. So if I am drawing a line across the page, it would go like that, across. And if I'm drawing a line along the page, it would go along the page like this or like this, not horizontally. This is across, this is along, this is along. So he walked along the road or he walked across the road. Or if this is the road and this is the pavement on either side, then he walked across the road to get to the other side. That's the sixth set of prepositions that people normally get confused with. Would you like to make some sentences with these two words, across and along? Do try. I have some sentences for you. The bridge was across the river. See that? The bridge was across the river because it started on one end and ended at the other end. Or I could say, he walked along the bridge to get to the other side. And now I'll end with the seventh pair of prepositions, as 7 is my lucky number. So here's the seventh pair, the final one, at and in. So listen to these sentences. I was born at Whaley in Goa. I was born at Whaley in Goa. Can you tell the difference? The dogs were in the house when he returned. The dogs were in the house when he returned. He met his friend at the supermarket. He met his friend at the supermarket. As you can see here, at is used with reference to a small place, while in is used with reference to a bigger place, if you're talking about places. Before I end, let's have that small game that I promised that I would have. Watch me carefully. It's like dumb charades. And then you have to guess which preposition I'm using. Okay? The first one. I have a box. I have sellotape in my hand. Watch what I'm doing. Give me one word for this, one preposition. I'll do it one more time. What's one word for this? Just one preposition. Let me do the second one for you. Watch carefully. I have a book and I have my pouch. What am I doing? Just one word for this. Watch again. The book. This is the word that you have to tell me. What's the word? Let's see if you can think of these two words. Just two little words, two prepositions. Why are they called prepositions? Because they are showing the relationship of one object with another. The relation of one object with another. Or like this, the relationship of one object with another. Or like this, the relationship of one object with another, the relationship of one object with others, or the relationship of one object with another. Prepositions show the relationship of one object to another. I hope you liked the lesson and learned from it. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. That way you will get notified when I publish something new. Thank you in advance. Bye for now and have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.